made me run into that conclusion. No, hell no. That was actually the end. I had it to the neck. They were going to offer me just 2,000 Ghana cedis. Imagine that. Just 2,000 Ghana cedis for a month. And I was going to have just 2 weeks of vacation. And that's going to happen during the Christmas season. These guys. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing great. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing because we do photography and filmmaking content right over here, tutorials and all the things that will get you informed about filmmaking and photography. So if something that you're interested in, yeah, do your best to subscribe to my channel. Yeah, watch the videos that you can find over here on my channel, and I'm very sure that you're going to be informed a whole lot. Let's just cut to the chase into what today is about. All right, I'm getting some video done. I'm actually exporting it, and I thought about it that why don't I as well use that opportunity of not just wasting the time but rather to engage with you guys. I haven't showed my face in a minute, and that has been because I've been behind my computer working on a lot of client work. But yeah, let me just get right into it. So this thing actually happened. It's going to be like a story. All right, this thing happened. It was quite funny. You know, when you are starting up, you're definitely going to have to get into contact with a lot of people, as many people as you can, to get you out there. The thing that we call exposure, right? But it gets to a point where you feel like exposure is enough. It's better you also get paid for what you do so that you can buy the things that you desire to buy to improve and create the content that you want to create. Because when we learn, we want to input it or incorporate all the things that we've accumulated over the years into practice to make people see, and also to justify ourselves and what we know. All right, so I got confronted by these guys who claim to be computer geeks, or let me say computer engineers, and they were coming up with this idea about a platform where we can share films, videos, short films, documentaries, something like Netflix. Let me just put it that way. So they reached out to me, and what they were talking about was that they were looking at my work, and one actually identified himself as someone that I've been in school with. That's JHS, junior high school. Well, we kept on talking, but I wasn't convinced, because I'm always adamant when I'm talking to people for the first time and even the second time, because you don't know what people have up their sleeves. You understand what I mean? So as we were discussing over a conference call, because there were two of them, and I was a third person. Okay, so they were an entity and I am the company as well. So we're discussing about how we could join hands to get this thing established. So they came up with the plans that they have and all that. So all the plans, the procedures, how they were going to put together the platform, everything was going to be done by them, and I was going to be supervising the in-house productions, just like Netflix will put together films and shoot films, and also allow or accommodate other films, external films, to come in. So they were going to make provisions for all of that, and I was to be the supervisor of the content in and out, and also to supervise and direct and produce the content that this company was going to set up to do. So that was the whole idea. And of course, after every discussion, there's definitely going to be a contract and all that, because I was very keen on that. You can tell me everything that you want to do, as long as I am involved. My services are not for free, to be frank. I'm down with what we call exposure and all that, because people reach out to you and they want to convince you that they have an upper hand and they have all these links and all that. Yeah, we do need the links. You'll never run out of the need of links. You understand my point? You always need someone to put you up there, put you here and there, but we equally as well need to be paid, and it depends on what offer the other party is given. All right, so in my case, they were offering this platform to me to supervise, as well as create content, and overall being the overseer of all the activities done on the platform concerning the content, what is going to be shared. All right, after everything was said and done, I demanded for a lineup or written out listed points of things that they were expecting of me, first of all. So I got a call the following day, and we spoke over phone, of course, and they sent out through email the document that had listed all the things that they expected me to do, right? And after I read everything, it was clear to me and was quite accommodating to me. I asked for the contract, which is very, very important. I just wanted to know what they had in mind and the amount of work that I was going to be doing, what I was supervising, everything in total, so that if they bring in the contract, I can use that as a yardstick to compare and see if they are quite, reasonable and it will be feasible in the long run. So when they brought it over, the contract, I looked into it and it was funny. It was really, really, really funny because when I read the contract, the first thing that came to mind was these guys, the very first sentence actually, that you are partnering with me and we never spoke about anything like you employing me. Because if you categorize me as an employee, first off, it makes me know that you are looking at having dominance over whatever it is that I'll be doing, okay? Which may not be a problem to someone, but that wasn't the conversation in the first place. We were supposed to be partners, all right? Cool. So that was a red flag, the first red flag that I spotted out. The second thing that I also noticed was that the terms of termination was very, very, very interesting. I wasn't going to be able to have a say if the agreement or the contract was going to be terminated, first of all. Secondly, I wasn't going to be also able in 2 years, if the contract is terminated, I wasn't going to be able in 2 years to shoot or do anything that has a relationship to what their platform was also going to be providing. So let's say photography, filmmaking, and all that, that was exactly that they were set to do. And so if I am doing this and I go in and sign that contract, it was going to mean that I wasn't going to be able to practice photography and filmmaking if the contract is signed by me and one day is terminated, which doesn't make any sense. Because in the first place, the reason why you contacted me was because you had seen my work and you were fascinated about them. So why is it that what you saw and you were fascinated about, you're going to restrict me from practicing it should whatever happens and we terminate that contract? Which doesn't make sense, because from the onset they were talking in the sense or in the nutshell that I am an employee and an employee wouldn't have a say in all those things, all right? All the things that you ascribe to an employee and the qualities, the attributes, everything that an employee is all about. And that wasn't the agreement from the onset. So when I read through, I noticed that, and I came to the conclusion that this wasn't actually for me. And what these guys were thinking, we haven't even started. Plus, I even demanded for a look at the warehouse. I forgot to speak about that. During the conversation and all that, these guys told me that they had this warehouse over there in Accra. I am in Kumasi, so it's like a 5 to 6 hour journey from where I am to Accra. And I was going to have to come back to Kumasi to take care of whatever it is I'm doing over here and consecutively move to Accra, and that was going to be the plan should we have partnered, all right? So I demanded for some pictures and the people that I was going to be training, because I was also supposed to be training employees, you get me? So my task wasn't a small one. It involved a whole lot. And these guys were confident enough, after all the things that they've put together, thinking that it was a right thing to do to send over such content of a contract to me. Someone that you are trying to partner, someone that you are soliciting for his help to help you build your platform. You understand what I mean? So when I looked at it, it was quite funny. We need exposure as much as we need money, but trust me, whatever you learn, you need to monetize it. Because if you don't reap the fruit of your own labor, then what is the purpose of doing what you're doing as a freelancer or a professional, whatever that you do? You understand what I mean? So it was quite funny that I was going to have to sign this contract and be restricted after 2 years without having a say. So it was an open kind of contract where I had no say, and it implied that they were going to have dominion over me. And this one also a very important thing that was also part of it that gave me another red flag that made me run into that conclusion. No, hell no. That was actually the end. I had it to the neck. They were going to offer me just 2,000 Ghana cedis. Imagine that. Just 2,000 Ghana cedis for a month. And I was going to have just 2 weeks of vacation and that's gonna happen during the Christmas season. These guys, I don't know, maybe during the conversation, probably I came off as sounding that I was really in need of shooting films and all that because I had so much interest in it. So they thought that they could just bring anything and I would just grab it and just pounce on it. Hell no. Hell no. In as much as I'm striving and doing my best to invest the little that I have into what I'm doing and trying to get the attention of people to see that I'm actually capable of what it is that I'm presenting to them, I don't need someone to come and show me how to do my things, though we take inspiration from people, but there's someone needing my help and now it's going to give me restrictions to what I don't want to do. So, I mean, if I had just signed this thing without reading, and in fact, some people just jump onto some opportunities, and some of these opportunities are actually their graves that they are actually, digging, because your career can just, die like that if you should run into any such situation. Because if I had signed this, that meant that I had all my career, the destiny of my career in their hands, and they were going to move me about here and there. So for instance, if the whole year I wasn't gonna be shooting with them and all that, I wasn't also gonna be able to comfortably practice my filmmaking and all that, because in quote, according to the contract, to be frank, I haven't actually spelled out everything that the contract had, but the contract actually implied that they were gonna literally own me and own what I do, own my talent, own the knowledge that I have amassed and accumulated over the years, and just lock me in the box and give me just 2 weeks of vacation. These guys are really funny. So yeah, of course, I turned it down. I sent them a message replying to them that this contract is totally absurd and I wasn't going to sign it, of course. So I could give them a second chance if they were going to reconsider and bring something that really makes sense. I actually put it that way and I sent it over to them. So it was in the middle of the night. I think that was around 12, maybe 12 or 1 a.m. And a phone call came through, and one actually resides abroad in US. So he wasn't able to communicate with us during the day because the other partner was in Accra. So 2 of us are here in Ghana and the other one is there over there in the US. So I think 1 a.m. was the best time that they could call me, and I barely sleep at night because I have my concentration at full blast 100% during the evening. So I was pretty much alive working behind my computer, and the call came through. So I answered, and they gave me their reservations about what it was that I didn't really understand about the contract, and I was really shocked because after sending you the message, the feedback, and turning down the contract, I thought that was message enough, and they rather required more elaboration on why I turned them down. So yeah, I took my time, even though I didn't like it, reluctantly took my time, spelled out everything that I felt was wrong, and told them to think through about it. If they want to reconsider, I'm giving them that chance. That window is open. Once they are done, send it over to me. I'll read it, and if it makes sense, I may sign it. That was it. And they said, okay. They went back, did a few things. The very following morning, they sent over yet another contract. And in fact, there was no way that I was going to consider no matter what they had brought, actually. But I just wanted to see what they actually had in mind. So they sent this contract over, and these are people I'm talking about that they haven't even sent me proof of the warehouse, the camera equipment. They spoke about a lot of things: camera equipment, tripods, cameras. They even mentioned some cameras, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 6K Pro, Lumix, and all that. I don't know whether they had just done research on cameras and they were just going to come and tell me that they have these, they have that, they have, just to convince me, thinking that I would just fall for anything. So they sent this contract, and it was so much in contrast against what they sent before. And this time they thought about the fact that they were rather partnering with me, and so I was a partner here in this two-party deal. So when I read through, it was so contrasting, and it was a turn off for me actually. First of all, they didn't respect who I was and my relevance in this, communion. And so looking at such a huge contrast in a matter of hours was a total, turn off for me. So yeah, I turned them down, sent them a message that there's no way that I'm gonna pick this up, and yeah, they should forget all about it. I told them remotely. They sent yet another reservation asking why I turned it down, all that, but yeah, I still kept my word and I stood my ground and turned them down. So the whole thing that I'm trying to put across here is that if you're starting out, you're definitely going to want to jump onto any kind of project, anything whatsoever. Fine, you can start by doing that and practicing, but trust me, if you put a lot of effort into building your value, the work that you think wouldn't get much traction is rather going to be the ones that get traction, and those that you felt was going to rather get more traction, yeah, it'll be the other way around. Trust me, it has happened to me a couple of times, and I can't stress it enough that if you create content that makes you happy, you're going to attract the right people, because these right people in quotes are people who are in tune with what you love, and so you're going to have work coming your way that you're going to enjoy, and you're not going to feel like you're even working at all. So that's actually the bottom line. Work a lot on yourself, your value, build yourself up, and whoever will confront you, you're going to have a lot of experience to talk back and to combat and object to anything that will be coming your way that is going to be detrimental to you as a person, as well as your career that you've worked so hard for. So yeah, this brings me to the end of the story. This is actually what I encountered. I have a couple more stories that I'll be putting in different episodes, so stay tuned on my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notification button so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a new video over here onto my YouTube channel. Until the next video, have a wonderful day. See ya.